Hey, everybody, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today, we're focusing on something that could help all of us out there on the course, especially those of us who are looking for that little extra edge.
hmm
Today, we're going to be talking about the neural edge.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to dig into this.
Me too.
I've been reading up on this a little bit, and it's fascinating stuff.
Absolutely.
So maybe to get started, you could tell us just a little bit about what we're talking about here. Like, what is this neural edge concept?
Well, we always think about improving our golf game as, needing the latest clubs
Yeah.
or, working with a swing coach. And those things are all great. But one of the things that sometimes gets neglected is the incredible power of our own minds.
Right.
And there's a specific part of our brain called the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS. And that's really what we're going to be talking about today and how we can leverage that to improve our performance on the golf course.
Okay, so RAS, I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little intimidated. Break it down for me a little bit. What exactly is this RAS, and how can it possibly help us shave a few strokes off our game?
So think of your RAS like a filter in your brain. It's bombarded with information all the time, sights, sounds, feelings, everything. But it has to decide what's important and what to ignore.
Right.
So you know how after you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing that same car everywhere?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like they're following me.
Exactly. That's your RAS in action because you've basically programmed it to pay attention to that specific make and model.
Wow.
So the good news is we can actually use that same power to improve our golf game.
Okay, now we're talking.
When we train our RAS to focus on specific elements of our game, we literally start seeing the course differently and feeling our swing differently.
So you're saying we can train our brains to see those birdie opportunities in those clutch putts.
Absolutely, you can.
This is starting to sound like a superpower.
Hmm.
So how do we actually train this RAS for golf? Give us the secrets.
Okay, well, it's a four-step process,
Yeah.
and it all starts with getting really clear on your goals.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, I want to play better, which is kind of vague, your RAS needs a specific target to lock onto.
So instead of I want to improve my putting,
Yeah.
I should say something like I want to consistently sink putts within 10 feet.
Exactly. That level of detail gives your RAS something concrete to work with and to really cement it in your mind. Write it down or say it out loud.
I like that, putting it out into the universe.
Exactly.
So we've set our sights on a specific target. What's next?
Now we move into the realm of visualization. This is where you vividly imagine yourself achieving that specific goal.
Okay.
If you're working on hitting straighter drives, you picture yourself on the tee box, feeling confident, taking a smooth swing, and watching that ball sail right down the fairway.
I've heard about visualization, but to be honest, I always thought it was a bit of a mental trick. Does it really have that much impact?
It's more than just a trick. Neuroscience has shown that when we visualize an action, our brain actually fires up similar neural pathways as when we physically perform that action.
Oh, wow. So it's like a mental rehearsal.
Exactly. And the more detailed your visualization, the more powerful the impact.
Okay.
Imagine the feel of your grip, the sound of the club striking the ball, the sight of the ball's trajectory, the whole experience.
Wow. Okay. So I'm setting a specific goal and really bringing it to life in my mind. What's next?
Step 3 is where the mental preparation meets the physical. We're talking about practicing with intent.
Okay.
It's not just about hitting buckets of balls, it's about making every swing count.
So quality over quantity. I'm guessing mindless repetition isn't going to cut it.
Exactly. Let's say you're working on your tempo. Instead of mindlessly hitting 50 balls, focus on that tempo with each swing. Really feel the rhythm, observe how it affects your ball flight, and adjust accordingly.
That makes sense. Turning practice into a learning experience.
Yes, and a key part of practicing with intent is analyzing your mistakes. Don't just brush off a bad shot. Ask yourself, why did that happen? Was it my grip, my stance, my alignment?
Use it as a learning experience.
Exactly.
So we're setting a clear goal, visualizing it in detail,
Yeah.
and practicing with focus and intention. What's the final step?
The final step is all about reinforcement. We're talking about acknowledging and celebrating your wins, no matter how small they seem.
So even if I just sink one 10-foot putt during a round, I should make a mental note of that success.
Absolutely. Every time you hit a great shot or make a smart decision on the course, take a moment to acknowledge that win.
Okay.
By focusing on these successes, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages your RAS to seek out more of those positive outcomes.
I love that, training our brains to focus on the positive.
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I'm getting a whole new understanding of not only the game of golf, but also the incredible power of my own mind.
It really is amazing what our brains can do.
It is, and we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So we've learned about the RAS, how it acts as a filter in our brain,
Hmm.
and how we can train it to help us improve our golf game. But knowing about it and actually using it are two different things.
Right.
So how can we practically apply these 4 steps to our golf game? Where do we start?
I think a great place to start is with your pre-round routine.
Okay.
That's really prime time to set your RAS up for success. So even before you tee off, take a few minutes to really define that specific goal for the round.
So let's say I've been really struggling with my drives lately.
Okay.
My goal for the day could be something like, okay, today I'm going to focus on smooth, controlled swings and hit 75% of my drives in the fairway, something concrete like that.
Exactly. And then once you have that goal in mind, take a few minutes to actually visualize yourself achieving it.
Okay.
So picture yourself on the tee box, feeling confident, taking that smooth swing and watching the ball sail straight down the fairway.
I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it.
Right. And the more details you can incorporate into that visualization, the better. So really engage all your senses. Feel the grip of the club, hear that satisfying thud of the ball, see the trajectory, make it a full sensory experience.
Got it. So we've got the pre-round, prep down specific goals, vivid visualization. Now, what about during the round itself?
Yeah.
How do we keep our RAS focused when the pressure's on?
That's where practicing with intent comes in. Remember, every shot is an opportunity to learn and refine.
Right.
So before each swing, bring your focus back to that specific goal and what you need to do to achieve it.
So if my goal is to hit more fairways, I should be consciously thinking about my swing tempo and keeping my head down throughout the swing.
Exactly. And if you do hit a bad shot, don't just get frustrated. Take a moment to analyze what went wrong.
Okay.
Was it your grip, your stance, your alignment? Turn that mistake into valuable data.
Right. Use it as a learning experience.
Exactly. And remember those small wins we talked about.
Yeah.
Every good shot, every smart decision, take a moment to celebrate those victories, no matter how small.
Okay.
It all feeds into that positive feedback loop.
I'm really starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
It's like creating this positive feedback loop between our minds and our actions on the course.
That's it. And don't forget about after the round, too.
Oh?
Take a few minutes to reflect, jot down what went well, what areas you still want to work on.
See, even if I had a rough day out there, I should still try to find at least one positive thing to focus on.
Absolutely. Maybe you had a couple of great putts, or maybe you maintained a positive attitude even though it was challenging. Find those little glimmers of progress.
Right.
It all feeds back into that positive feedback loop.
So pre-round visualization, in-round focus and analysis, and post-round reflection, it's like a holistic approach to improving our game.
Yeah, think of it as a mental game plan. A way to train your brain for peak performance, because ultimately golf is as much a mental game as it is a physical one.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel like I have a whole new understanding of not only the game of golf, but also the power of my own mind.
It's really amazing, and it's something that anybody can learn to do.
But before we wrap things up, I have a feeling you have one more nugget of wisdom to share with us. What's that final takeaway for our listeners today?
We've been talking about how training your RAS can really elevate your golf game, but this isn't just about golf.
Right.
Think about it. If we can harness this power to, improve our golf swing, imagine what else we can achieve in life.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What other areas of our lives could benefit from a little RAS training?
You're blowing my mind here.
What?
So you're saying we can use this same approach to improve our performance in anything? Our careers, our relationships, our personal growth.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless.
Exactly. If you can train your RAS to help you sink that clutch putt under pressure, you can train it to help you, focus on achieving that promotion at work or developing a healthier lifestyle.
Right. I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's about understanding the power of our thoughts and using that power to really create the reality we want.
Exactly. It's not about just wishful thinking. It's about aligning your thoughts, your actions, and your energy towards a specific outcome. And the RAS is the key to making that happen.
This deep dive has been absolutely incredible. I feel like I've gained a whole new level of understanding, not only of my golf game, but also the incredible power of my own mind. I can't wait to start applying these techniques both on and off the course.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, it's all about setting those clear goals, visualizing success, practicing with intention, and acknowledging those wins along the way. And most importantly, have fun with it.
Absolutely. You've given us so much to think about and so many practical tools to take our game and our lives to the next level. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
It's been my pleasure. I can't wait to see you out there on the course putting all this into action.
And to all of our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the neural edge. Remember, you have the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. Now get out there, train your RAS, and watch your goals become reality. We'll see you on the next deep dive.